Brian Lowery, Selfless, The Social Creation of a You. In Selfless, The Social Creation of a You, Brian Lowery challenges the traditional view of the self as an innate entity. Instead, he presents a revolutionary concept that our identities are continuously constructed through social interactions and relationships. From family and friends to the larger communities and nation-states we belong to, each connection leaves a significant imprint on who we are. This book delves into how the various layers of social connection, including the subtle influence of technology, play a crucial role in shaping our sense of self. Readers will explore how relationships not only define personal identity but also create multiple, ever-changing personas, all of which contribute to the complex tapestry of the self. The book also engages in a thought-provoking discourse on the idea of freedom within this social framework, suggesting that true autonomy is often paradoxically tied to these connections.
The social self. What truly defines the self? Sigmund Freud saw it as a realm tied to pleasure and desires, while Charles Cooley introduced the concept of the looking-glass self, emphasizing self-perception shaped by how we believe others see us. Beyond these theories is the cultural view that people are born with a certain self. However, Brian Lowery presents a compelling alternative: the self isn't something we are born with, nor is it predetermined. Instead, it is crafted through our social interactions and relationships. Every day, you encounter a myriad of people, from intimate circles of family and friends to passing acquaintances and complete strangers. Each of these interactions, regardless of their duration, contributes to molding your identity. Essentially, your uniqueness arises from the distinctive array of relationships and exchanges you experience throughout life. This perspective challenges the notion that the self is tied to the physical body or brain. Even as your physical appearance changes or your brain undergoes transformations, the essence of who you are may remain intact. Remarkably, even in the absence of your physical form, your self can persist through the relationships and impact you've left behind. Whether through influential work or acts of kindness, these legacies ensure your presence endures. This understanding of the self as a social construct also dismantles the idea that our core beliefs and moral values are entirely individualistic. Traits like generosity, respect, honesty, and humility aren't inherent, they're cultivated through interactions with others. Those around you significantly shape your understanding of ethics and values. The idea that our identity is a product of our social environment provokes deeper exploration into how societal dynamics shape who we become. As we dissect these factors further, we unveil the layers of complexity in the human experience, understanding that while the body and mind may change, the self remains resiliently intertwined with the webs of relationships we weave. Shaping self through bonds. Close relationships are the architects of your identity. Your journey of self-discovery begins with your family, the first influencers of your life. Envision the impact of being born to a celebrity. It would completely transform your world, shaping your outlook, values, and behaviors. Family not only determines socioeconomic status but also instills values. If debt is frowned upon by a sibling, you might adopt the same belief. Friends are the next cornerstone in this identity-building process. They open windows to diverse experiences and perspectives, often molding your social behaviors in ways your family may not. Unlike familial bonds, friendships expose you to new opinions and practices that might reshape your understanding of society and yourself. Romantic relationships add another dimension to this self-evolution, offering lessons in intimacy and personal growth. Even in their aftermath, they leave a lasting mark on your personality and worldview. Alongside these profound relationships, everyday interactions with peers, mentors, and colleagues also leave subtle yet significant imprints on your identity. Every connection, whether deep or fleeting, contributes layers to the masterpiece that is your sense of self. Over time, these relationships shape not just who you are, but how you perceive the world and navigate its complexities. Community and identity. Imagine your life is intricately connected with various communities, ranging from your immediate neighborhood to vast ethnic groups. Each of these communities plays a pivotal role in carving your identity, just as personal relationships do. Whether through associations with gender, race, or even fervent support for a particular music genre, these social groups shape you. Such groups are further subdivided into smaller units, each with its own norms and expectations. As inherently social beings, you are naturally pulled towards groups where similarities abound, nurturing your social identities. These identities are powerful, influencing everything from your speech and attire to your moral compass. However, simply choosing or having a biological connection to a group doesn't guarantee acceptance. True membership hinges on mutual acceptance between you and the group. Rejection from a group can profoundly impact your sense of self, highlighting the importance of meaningful social connections. Yet, remember, this is not a passive experience. While communities sculpt your identity, you possess the influence to shape them in return. Your actions and presence can create lasting impacts on those around you. Use your influence wisely to foster positive connections and enrich your communal interactions. Nation-state influence. The very essence of who you are is deeply shaped by the nation-state you belong to. Beyond the obvious social identifiers like gender and race, it's the country you live in that profoundly impacts your development and identity. This influence begins with the legal system, as the nation-state defines morality through laws that guide societal values and shape ethical beliefs. Your understanding of right and wrong is molded by these societal frameworks. Furthermore, the regulations imposed on where you can live significantly affect your early life experiences and relationships beyond your family, contributing to the formation of your identity. The nation-state also dictates group affiliations, affecting everything from gender identity to citizenship. When society and legal structures restrict your group memberships, your sense of self is profoundly impacted. This can lead to diminished confidence and trust, as well as loss of essential rights like health insurance and access to public resources. The encompassing power of nation-states over individual identities is monumental, influencing every aspect of our lives, often leaving us entwined with its policies both mentally and physically. Digital self-discovery. Technology acts as a subtle yet powerful shaper of our identities, not unlike the influences of our interpersonal relationships or cultural affiliations. Like an invisible architect, it redefines how we connect with others, enabling the formation of meaningful global relationships without geographical constraints. Through our screens, we dive into diverse cultures, absorbing lifestyles and moralities with ease. This digital expansion offers a unique opportunity, the creation of multiple selves. Identities that might be constrained in our physical world can flourish online, leading to newfound belonging and personal satisfaction. Moreover, technology opens the floodgates to a myriad of ideas, providing access to worlds and perspectives that might otherwise remain inaccessible, profoundly affecting our perception of self. Yet, this vast virtual world comes with a double-edged sword. Amongst its unfathomable offerings lie algorithms that subtly shape our content intake, directing our behavior in unseen ways. As technology carves its indelible mark on us, it becomes crucial to navigate the digital realm thoughtfully, ensuring our digital consumption aligns with our desired identity and autonomy. Fluid and multifaceted self. The essence of who you are is intricately woven from your myriad relationships and communities. This dynamic tapestry gives rise to two key traits of the self, its fluidity and multiplicity. Unlike a static entity, your sense of self transforms, adapting through significant life changes, societal shifts, forming new bonds, or severing old ones. Yet, even the smallest incidents, like a change in workplace dynamics or a new coffee shop encounter, subtly reshape you. These incremental changes accumulate over time, gradually crafting an entirely new version of you. Furthermore, the self doesn't reside within a singular identity. Diverse relationships throughout your life cultivate multiple versions of who you are. An obedient daughter at home might transform into an assertive student leader at school. These variations stem from the context of your interactions. Each scenario and relationship draws out a different facet of your identity, yet none can be deemed the true self. All these aspects collectively embody the real you, illustrating the intricate and multifaceted nature of identity shaped by the connective threads of life. Freedom's paradox. Beyond the common desires for wealth and love, humans yearn for freedom, the chance to live authentically and fully without constraints. However, this longing is paradoxical when viewed through the lens of relationships, which are intrinsic to one's identity. Feeling a lack of freedom often stems from external forces, be it authoritative influences restricting actions or manipulative dynamics compelling unintended choices. These forces often manifest through existing relationships that demand certain obligations. Yet, expecting absolute liberation from these external factors is unrealistic since one's identity is deeply intertwined with relational influences. Rather than perceiving relationships and societal constructs as constraints, envision them as the foundational structures that shape your identity. The interconnected web of relationships contributes to the essence of who you are. Complete freedom from such influences would leave you devoid of selfhood, a state of selflessness. While the boundaries set by relationships and society can sometimes seem oppressive, they also provide direction and context, acting as a framework for understanding both yourself and your surroundings. Embracing these confines can lead to a deeper appreciation of the nuanced interplay between freedom and identity.
Brian Lowery's Selfless leaves us with a profound understanding that the self is not a static or inherent entity, but a dynamic construct molded by our social interactions. By examining the impact of close relationships, community affiliations, and even the nation-state, Lowery illustrates the vast influence these factors have on shaping our identities. Technology, despite its virtual nature, plays a significant role in expanding and diversifying our sense of self. The crucial takeaway is that these connections form a multifaceted and mutable identity that can never be singular or fixed. Lowery prompts readers to rethink the notion of freedom as it relates to the self, suggesting that liberating oneself from these influences would result in a hollow, selfless existence. Instead, he proposes embracing the structure provided by relationships and society as a means to find meaning and coherence in our lives.